My name is Obi Emelonye. I am a Nollywood filmmaker. I call myself one of the new generation of Nigerian filmmakers taking the magic of Nollywood to the entire world with what I call quintessential African stories with universal soul.
And Obi, you've just come back from Lagos where you've been making game shows. Tell me a little about that.
That's different. I got a call from Wazobia TV. They've always had a radio station, Cool FM, Wazobia FM, and Nigerian Info, and they've just set up a TV station. And Amin Musali, the CEO of the company, is very into game shows. And he called me and said, "Look, I'm doing a game show. Could you come and help?" And I owe him. He's supported my films from Mirror Boy to Last Flight Abuja with the kind of PR that you only give to your own projects. And I felt this is time to pay him back. So I'm making a game show in Lagos called The Gong Chai.
Yeah.
The Gong Chai is a dubious talent game show where people with funny talents come and try and win variety of prizes. I'm doing 13 episodes of that, and there's another one called The Drive, which is like a lucky spin based game show. So it's quite an experience trying to get into that. I've dealt with live television before, but doing a gig with 12 cameras and a whole live crew, it's a whole new experience, and I'm having a lot of fun and learning as well.
And you've got your own film out at the moment, Oxford Gardens. Tell me about how Oxford Gardens came about.
Oxford Gardens was originally written by a young man called Emil Garuba, but it wasn't complete. I discussed with him about the potential for expanding the story and giving it a bit more cinematographic life. But he said he's reached his absolute limits with it, and I should take it on if I wanted. So I took on the extra effort to bring it to life as a film. And I did a co-production with Africa Magic, Mnet Africa Magic.
This is your second film with Africa Magic?
It was my second film with Africa Magic, and a partnership that I hope would continue, because they're trying to move from mere acquisition to co-production, which is slightly more expensive acquisition technique, but one that is more sustainable. So they provided a typical Nollywood budget for it. And what I did was to squeeze every ounce of value from my contacts and my experience as a filmmaker, shot exclusively in London, with what has been described as the most impressive castant of any African film. Yes, so Oxford Gardens emerged as a, almost like a stopgap project, because I have in the offing some much bigger projects. But in the meantime, the funding and the ecosystem is not right for those films. And we have to continue to tell stories in the meantime with what we have. So Oxford Gardens is a it's a small budget film with very big heart, and I call it a love story wrapped in boxing gloves. It tells the story of Julius, a boxer who's out of luck and out of jail, who's seeking redemption, who runs into this very lively young girl on a park bench in Oxford Gardens in London, and they form a very unlikely friendship. To cut a long story short, she helps him find his mojo, which he'd lost from series of events that happened in his life before he went to jail, and he helps her fulfill her bucket list, which because
she is dying from cancer.
She had some terminal illness and was living out her final days with flourish. So he helped her fulfill those, and together they supported themselves through what I call whatever life throws at them.
Mm.